We think of ourselves as the inheritors of a long history. 4 billion years of evolution. 13. 8 billion years of cosmic history, all leading to this moment, to us. But what if that's exactly backwards? What if we are not the inheritors of the universe's story? What if we are the opening notes? What if the greatest chapters of life in the cosmos haven't been written yet, and we are the first sentence of a story that will unfold for trillions of years? That idea, that we are the dawn, not the dusk, changes everything about how we think about our place in the universe. And it is not a poetic metaphor. It is, as best we can tell, the scientific truth. Let's think about the future. Not the near future, not decades or centuries, but the deep future. The universe is 8 billion years old, but it will continue to exist for an almost incomprehensible length of time. The sun will burn for another 5 billion years before it expands into a red giant and eventually fades to a cold white dwarf. But the sun is a relatively short-lived star. The smallest, dimmest stars, red dwarfs, will burn for trillions of years. Some of them will still be shining when the universe is 1,000 times its current age. And around those long-lived stars, planets will orbit. Chemistry will happen. And if the history of Earth teaches us anything, it is that where chemistry happens in the right conditions, life follows. Consider the numbers. The universe is currently about 8 billion years old. The era of star formation, the period during which new stars are being born, will continue for roughly another 100 trillion years. During that time, the ingredients for life will be stewing in billions of solar systems on trillions of planets. The number of potential life-bearing worlds that will exist in the future dwarfs the number that have existed so far. We are not at the end of the story of life in the universe. We are at the very beginning. The universe has barely started its experiment with biology. From this perspective, the silence of the universe, the Fermi paradox, takes on a different meaning. Maybe the reason we haven't heard from anyone is not that life is rare, but that we are early. Maybe the great flowering of intelligence and civilization in the universe lies billions of years in the future. Maybe we are the first generation, the pioneers, the opening act, and the universe's greatest civilizations have not yet been born. If that is true, then the silence is not a sign of emptiness. It is a sign of potential. The universe is not empty. It is pregnant with possibility. That is a humbling thought, and a beautiful one. It means that what we do now matters, not just for ourselves, but for the long-term future of life in the cosmos. If we are among the first intelligent civilizations to arise, then we have a responsibility that extends far beyond our own survival. We are the universe becoming aware of itself. We are the cosmos asking questions about its own nature. And the choices we make about how we treat our planet, how we develop our technology, how we relate to each other, will shape the trajectory of life in the universe for billions of years to come. That is not an exaggeration. It is the logical consequence of being early. This is not mysticism. It is physics and biology and the logic of deep time. Life, once it gets started, tends to persist and spread. The extremophiles we discussed earlier, the organisms that survive in the most hostile conditions on Earth, are a testament to life's tenacity. Once life takes hold, it is extraordinarily hard to extinguish. And if life spreads beyond Earth, if we become a spacefaring civilization, if we seed other worlds, if we eventually reach other stars, then the story of life that began on this small blue planet will continue long after the sun has burned out. We could be the ancestors of civilizations that will exist trillions of years from now, in a universe we can barely imagine. The physicist Freeman Dyson spent much of his career thinking about the deep future of life in the universe. He argued that life, given sufficient time and ingenuity, could adapt to almost any conditions, including the cold, dark, energy-poor universe of the far future. He imagined civilizations that slow their metabolism as the universe cools, thinking slower and slower thoughts, but thinking them for longer and longer, experiencing an infinite amount of subjective time even as the objective universe winds down. Whether or not Dyson's specific scenarios are correct, the underlying point is profound. Life is not just a passenger in the universe, it is an active participant, and its role may grow, not diminish, as time goes on. We began this series with a question: are we alone? We have traveled through the chemistry of life's origins, the extremophiles of Earth's most hostile environments, the ocean worlds of our solar system, the thousands of exoplanets orbiting distant stars, the silence of the Fermi paradox, the history of our search for signals, the possibility of ancient civilizations, and the verge of discovery that we stand on today. And we have arrived at an answer, not a definitive one, because science does not yet have that, but a considered one. We are probably not alone. The universe is too large, too old, too rich in the ingredients of life for Earth to be the only place where chemistry became biology. But perhaps more important than the answer is the question itself. The fact that we ask it, that we look up at the stars and wonder, that we build telescopes and spacecraft and send them into the void in search of answers, says something profound about what we are. We are the universe's way of knowing itself. We are the cosmos, made conscious, asking where it came from and whether it is alone. Every time a scientist points a telescope at a distant star and looks for signs of life, they are doing something that has never been done before in the history of the universe, at least as far as we know. They are one part of the cosmos reaching out to find another. And whether or not we find life out there, the search has already changed us. It has expanded our sense of what is possible. It has humbled us and inspired us. It has reminded us that we are part of something vast and ancient and still largely unknown. It has given us a reason to cooperate across borders and disciplines, to invest in science and exploration, to look outward rather than inward. And it has given us a reason to keep looking, to keep asking the question that has haunted our species since the first human looked up at the night sky and felt that pull. Are we alone? The answer is out there, and we are going to find it. And when we do, it will not be the end of the story. It will be the beginning of a new one, a story that we cannot yet imagine, told by minds that have not yet been born, in a universe that is still, in so many ways, just getting started. If this series has meant something to you, if it has changed how you see the universe even a little, please subscribe and share it with someone who would love it too. Every new person who joins this community is another mind asking these questions alongside us. And that matters more than you know. Thank you for watching. Thank you for wondering. The universe is waiting. If you've made it to the end of this series, you are exactly the kind of curious mind this channel exists for. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let YouTube pick the next video for you. It's right there on your screen. Stay curious, stay watching. The universe has more to show us.